my decision to leave the main Brecon road and follow a road which at that time was quite unfamiliar to me was one I have never regretted, because it led me straight to the heart of the Breconshire Hills, where I was to find so much that was new and interesting. I had travelled about 5 miles from the main road when my attention was attracted by a little pied flycatcher perched in a rowan tree. I stopped to watch him, expecting him to fly off in alarm, but to my delight he went about his business of nest building in a natural hole in the tree trunk, a typical choice of nesting site for this little summer visitor. I left the little flycatcher to his nest building, and after a while I turned on to the old Roman road known as San Helen. The road followed a straight course across the hills, typical of all the old Roman ways. After passing the old stone known as Mine Maddock, the road continued its straight course for a mile or so, and then dipped down into the upper valley of the Nedd. I was later to spend many happy hours in this valley, in the company of the friendly people who live in the farmhouses on the bank of the river, and to share some of the interests in the daily life of Howell, who works as a shepherd on the surrounding hills. Early morning finds Howell prepared to set out for the hillside, accompanied by Ken, Scott, and Fan, his constant companions. His daily ride over the wind-swept hills takes him past an old stone wall where a pair of wheatears have chosen to nest. He finds time to watch the regular pattern of behaviour as this little pair visit the nest, popping into the crevice, hastily feeding the nestlings, and reappearing as if by magic at a totally unexpected exit. The shepherd is familiar with the graceful sweeping flight of the buzzard. His route takes him past a deep gully where a pair of buzzards have been successful in rearing a single chick in a bulky, untidy nest placed on a deep ledge at the top of the gully. A low chuckle warns the ever-hungry young buzzard of the approach of one of the parent birds bringing its prey. And a little field mouse is a welcome offering. This is skylark country too, and a skylark's nest is a familiar sight to the shepherd, but he never fails to be attracted by the beauty of a clutch of eggs, or to marvel at the magic of a chick breaking out of its shell. His sure-footed pony carries him over miles of open country where the sturdy little Welsh mountain ponies roam. The fast-flowing streams which he often has to cross are the haunts of the dipper, the little brown and white bird which probably got its name from its characteristic habit of constantly bobbing and curtsying. Shearing time, of course, is a particularly busy time for the shepherd. Hundreds of sheep are rounded up and driven down from the hillsides. These sheep have been grazing on common land, so Howell now has the added task of separating his flock from those of other shepherds before driving them to the shearing shed on the farm. Hand shearing is hot and strenuous work, but workers from all the neighbouring farms are always ready to give a helping hand. How welcome a good stretch and a cool wash must be after a hard day's shearing. Most farmers and shepherds welcome the opportunity of attending the sheep sales, and Howell is no exception. His brother Morgan has already driven his little flock some 4 or 5 miles on his way to the sale at Penderyn, where he will meet his father and Howell. The farmers of these remote areas have little opportunity of getting together, so it is understandable that these sales, apart from the business interest, play a big part in their social life. Sometimes a particular sheep has to be singled out for attention, and when I showed an interest in the crook used so adroitly to catch the sheep, another side of this interesting family was brought to light. Howell's father, who lives in the neighbouring farm, has an interesting hobby, the fascinating art of crook making. All the time he can spare from his farm duties is given up to this hobby. He studies the trees around the farm and has a quick eye for picking out a natural shape which will give him a good start for the particular article he has in mind, a walking stick or a crook. The sound of his saw often competes with the cry of the curlew, the bird so characteristic of the hillside, and so easily recognized by its unmistakable call and its long curving beak. He chooses a block which is well seasoned and roughly hacks it into shape. As he finds relaxation in his hobby, his wife carries out the everyday chores of the farm. He uses the very simplest of tools. From this stage, nothing more than a pencil and a small penknife. He is never without company, as he contentedly works away at his hobby. He doesn't even find a brush necessary for varnishing. He says his finger serves the purpose admirably. A close examination of some of the crooks and walking sticks he has recently completed assures the craftsman that the finished articles are up to standard, and he certainly has every reason to be proud of his handiwork. His skill is not confined to the making of crooks and walking sticks. All the hay rakes used on the farm are his own work, and here again he starts with a natural shape cut from a tree on the farm. The rake is completed without the use of nails or screws. The whole family sets to work with a will in the hayfield whenever the weather is favourable. That is, with the exception of Sunday, when no one works in the fields, even though they can ill afford to lose the smallest fraction of the harvest, which is never very plentiful, even at the best of times. And now I often find my thoughts turning from the noise and speed of town life to the peace and quiet of the hillsides, and the warm-hearted people who never fail to give a friendly welcome to anyone fortunate enough to find his way, as I did, to the farmhouses on the banks of the upper reaches of the River Nedd.